Two sports powerhouses are facing each other in court with the future of NASCAR racing, you could say, on the line here. The stock car giant is being sued by two racing teams, one of them co-owned by NBA legend, and legend is the word, the great Michael Jordan. So they claim that NASCAR abuses its power in monopolistic ways.
A bitter fight between Michael Jordan and NASCAR is unfolding in a federal courtroom in uptown Charlotte. It is a battle that could rip apart the top motorsport series in the country.
When Denny Hamlin walked into that Charlotte courtroom on December 1st, nobody expected him to reveal exactly how much money he makes driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. But that's exactly what happened, and the number shocked everyone.
The 2311 racing team alongside NASCAR star driver Denny Hamlin at the Top Cup Series level, along with another team, Front Row Motorsports, they claim the stock car series is violating antitrust laws by leaving its teams no options but to comply with the rules.
Hamlin confirmed he earns around $14 million every single year from Joe Gibbs Racing. This was the first time a NASCAR driver's salary had ever been made public like this. Teams usually keep these numbers private, but the trial forced everything into the open. When NASCAR's lawyer asked why he makes more than other drivers, Hamlin didn't hold back. He said, "Other drivers don't win as many races as I do." But that salary reveal was just the beginning of what became one of the most emotional and intense trials in NASCAR history. This wasn't just about money. This was about the future of the entire sport. Hamlin was the very first witness called to testify. As Michael Jordan watched from the courtroom, Hamlin started talking about how he got into racing. Then something unexpected happened. He began to cry. He had to stop and take a moment to pull himself together. Hamlin explained that his father is very sick and not doing well. He talked about growing up and how his parents spent almost all their money to help him race. When he was 20 years old, he had to make a big choice. He could either keep racing or go work for his dad's trailer business. Years later, when Hamlin wanted to become a team owner, he knew he needed help. That's when he turned to Michael Jordan. Hamlin had become friends with Jordan when the basketball legend owned the Charlotte Hornets. Hamlin was a season ticket holder and they connected over time. Hamlin told the jury something very honest. He said, "If I can't be successful with Michael as a partner, I knew this was never going to work." Then Hamlin started breaking down the real costs of running a NASCAR team, and the numbers were eye-opening. He said it costs $20 million just to get one car ready for all 38 races in a season. And that $20 million doesn't even include paying the driver or running the business. The charter that NASCAR gives teams only pays $12.5 million per car. That leaves a gap of $7.5 million that teams have to cover somehow. Hamlin explained that his team, 23XI Racing, has bought 3 charters over the years. The first one cost $4.7 million. The second cost $13.5 million. The third one, bought just last year, cost $28 million. All 3 of those charters came from teams that went out of business. That's a total of more than $46 million spent just on charters. And it doesn't stop there. Hamlin and Jordan spent $35 million building their race shop called Airspeed. They pay Joe Gibbs Racing $8 million every year for technical help. The team employs 140 people. Back in 2022, they paid NASCAR more than $700,000 just for things like entry fees and credentials. Hamlin told the jury something that really hit hard. He said, "All it takes is one sponsor to go away and all our profit is gone." Even with Michael Jordan as a partner bringing in big sponsors, the team only made a profit of 2.26%. Without Jordan's star power, they would probably be losing money like most other teams. Then Hamlin dropped what might have been his most powerful statement of the entire trial. He called NASCAR's charter agreement like a death certificate for his team. He said, "I didn't sign because I knew this was my death certificate for the future." Hamlin explained that back in December 2023, he had a meeting with NASCAR's boss, Jim France. Hamlin saw France eating lunch alone during NASCAR's awards week in Nashville. So Hamlin sat down with him. But the meeting didn't go well. France told Hamlin that the problem in NASCAR is that teams spend too much money. France said teams should only spend $10 million per car, not the $20 million they actually spend. Hamlin tried to explain that cutting costs in half just wasn't realistic. He told France, "We've cut this grass so short, we're down to the dirt." Hamlin asked France how he could get his money back if he kept cutting. And according to Hamlin, France had no answer. The new charter agreement that NASCAR offered wasn't any better. It came on September 6th at 6 o'clock in the evening on a Friday. Teams had until midnight to sign a 112-page document. Bob Jenkins, who owns Front Row Motorsports, said the timing seemed planned. He said no attorney on the East Coast was available to read the document in that short time. Jenkins felt, honestly, very hurt by the whole thing. When teams asked to keep negotiating, NASCAR said no. The message was clear. Negotiations are closed. Take it or leave it. Hamlin counted 8 major problems with the agreement, but NASCAR wouldn't change anything. Then things got really intense during cross-examination. NASCAR's lawyer, Lawrence Buterman, tried to use Hamlin's own words against him. He showed videos where Hamlin praised NASCAR and the next-gen car on podcasts and Netflix. Hamlin had called the car a net positive for the sport, but now he was suing NASCAR partly because of how that same car system works. Hamlin's response was explosive. He said, "Because if I say anything bad, I get a lashing from NASCAR." He explained that when he talks publicly, he has to say what NASCAR wants him to say. "My job is to take the talking points NASCAR says to me and say them publicly. If it's anything bad, I get a phone call from NASCAR." He told the court that being negative publicly affects him during car inspections and gets him called to meetings with NASCAR officials. Buterman asked if that means people can't trust what Hamlin says. Hamlin shot back, "That's nonsense. What I do publicly is put out positivity. That's my job. You guys give me talking points. I say it to make fans feel happy." The trial also revealed problems inside Hamlin's own team. Text messages showed that his business partners called him a terrible businessman who spends money recklessly. At one point, Hamlin even asked to be bought out of the team, but Hamlin brushed it off, saying it's their job to keep him in check. He pointed out that 75% of teams lost money, but 23x I didn't while still winning races. Even more shocking were the private text messages between NASCAR executives. In May 2024, NASCAR's top leaders were frustrated with their own boss. Commissioner Steve Phelps looked at a chart showing 0 wins for the teams in the new agreement. President Steve O'Donnell said the approach would lead back to a comfortable 1996, fuck the teams, dictatorship, motorsport, redneck, southern, tiny sport. Scott Prime, NASCAR's strategy executive, said the approach of, "Here's a bit more money, fuck off everywhere else," is a bold strategy. These executives seem to want better terms for teams, but Jim France and the NASCAR board wouldn't budge. NASCAR also had backup plans if teams didn't sign. One plan was called Project Gold Codes. Under this plan, NASCAR would take all the charters and run the teams themselves. Another option was to reduce the number of charters and make it first come, first serve. Now the stakes couldn't be higher. If Hamlin and Front Row win, NASCAR could be forced to sell racetracks, give teams permanent charters, or even sell the whole company. The judge has the power to completely reshape NASCAR. But if NASCAR wins, 23XI and Front Row will probably go out of business. Their 6 charters would be sold off. The trial is expected to last 2 weeks. More team owners will testify, including legends like Richard Childress, Rick Hendrick, and Roger Penske. Michael Jordan himself will likely take the stand. For now, all anyone can do is wait and watch as this battle plays out in court. The future of NASCAR hangs in the balance.